Greetings, students and teachers. Right now I'd like to introduce a new series by Dargwan. The name of the series is The TEPS Junior. And the book I'd like to talk about is the TEPS Junior Reading Basic Book. Let's take a look inside. Now, the TEPS test has two parts. It has the listening part and the reading part. This book focuses on the reading part. On the TEPS test, there are three parts. Therefore, our book has three different parts. See part 1, part 2, part 3, and there is, at the end of the book, an actual test section with two actual tests. Now, example part 1. Now, part 1 on the reading part of the TEPS focuses on filling in the blanks. There are 4 different kinds of questions that can be asked in this section. Therefore, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections that cover all aspects of part 1 on the TEPS. The same thing for part 2. In part 2, there are 2 parts for understanding the main idea, 2 parts for understanding the details, and 2 parts for making inferences from stated facts. So these cover all the types of questions on the part 2 of the reading. And part 3, which is finding the most inappropriate sentence, well, there are 2 parts on this section. Let's take a look inside. Again, part 1, well, filling in the blank with the most appropriate phrase. This part has, for the example, there is one short passage, and it explains why is A, B, C, or D the correct answer. And it gives you a couple of other possible answers. Something very important, look at the bottom of each page. You will see the words and expressions section. This takes several words from the passages, it defines them, and it provides a short sentence that uses each word. Go to the next page, we have Basic Drill A. You can see 3 very short passages. The next part, Basic Drill B, the passages are a little longer. There are 2 of them, and you look at each answer choice and choose, is it natural or is it unnatural? So there could be 2 or even 3 correct answers in this section. Finally, we have the real practice section. These are 3 longer passages, 1, 2, 3, that focus on the task in the section. Again, for part 1, well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections. Now also, at the end of the chapter, at the end of the part, we have the intensive training section. Now, on the TEPS test in part 1, there are 16 passages. Therefore, at the end of, during the intensive training section, there are a total of 16 passages that use all of this, all of the different skills that you've learned in this passage. And at the very end, we have the vocabulary review. There are 20 vocabulary questions that you have sentences that use words which appear in the passage. So it's a chance for you to review the words that you learned in the chapter. Again, we have part 2. Part 2 has more questions to it, and part 3, again, part 3 has the short passages where you find the most inappropriate sentence. And finally, at the very end of the book, we have the actual test section. What this part does is, well, it is identical to the reading comprehension part of the test exam, of the TEPS exam. So there are 3 different parts on this, and there are 2 full-length actual tests. And that's what we have in the book, in the TEPS Junior Reading Basic Book. And we hope that this will help people starting out learning about TEPS will help them improve their TEPS score. Thank you very much.